I hope she's ready, and I know she is. This is a lovely girl, a dear friend of mine. We've taken classes together, and in the middle of comedy, she is also earning a master's degree. She is incredible. You're in for a treat. It is Megan McFarland.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Jenna has been nice enough to stock the entire green room with a metric shit ton of beer and whiskey. So right now my bladder is screaming at me like your 5-year-old 8 minutes into a road trip. So we're gonna keep this nice and quick and public urination free for all of us. So I own a 2002 Chrysler PT Cruiser. Oh, thanks for laughing at me. That's actually not the joke, but thank you. So if you didn't see the giant black plastic licorice jelly belly on wheels out in the parking lot on your way in here, that is in fact my car. And I learned something really interesting about PT Cruisers the other day, that they've actually been named, after years of meticulous research, the worst mode of transportation in the history of moving vehicles. Second only to, of course, drunk driving and dog sleds pulled by foster children. So I, for one, I feel really proud to own a piece of American vehicular ingenuity like the Chrysler PT Cruiser. Because honestly, I mean, nothing harkens back to the pointless excess of the early 2000s quite like some Gen Xers' Disney-coded wet dream of what the 50s were supposed to be like, all packed up into an egg-shaped, wood-paneled midlife crisis dick metaphor. So, if you couldn't tell already, my dad did a lot of coke in the 80s. Like a lot of really good dads. And so because of this, he was completely convinced when I was growing up that he was going to die at 55. And he made a point of telling us kids that on a fairly regular basis from 49 on. And don't worry, he's still unfortunately alive, so this joke is still funny. So in order to prepare us kids for his impending non-death, he would make us sit down in front of the family iMac and watch the music video for Eminem's When I'm Gone just over and over and over again. And this was before YouTube was like a thing that adults knew how to use. So he had to actually buy this music video off of iTunes. So this was back when if you wanted to put your children through the experience of standing behind them while they're watching a metaphor for your impending death, you had to at least pay $1.99 to do it. So I've also been living in my uncle's basement for the last year and a half. Yeah, I know, I'm proud of me too. And I don't know how many of you have actually lived in a basement before, but judging on the fact that this is Portland, I'm gonna bet that about 99% of you have lived in, grown something in, or held something small and helpless hostage in one at least once before. So you'll understand what I mean when I say that my skin and personality have taken on the color and consistency of a young Dick Cheney's underboob, if you will. Have a little peek right there. I know, business shorts, right? It's the new sexy. So, but there's something about being and living underground in a soulless, windowless hellscape that really just fucks with your head after a little while. I mean, if I'm in my basement for more than a day at a time, I completely forget that there is a world outside of my basement. Like, oh, I love my room. I love basement. Basement is life. Basement is death. Basement is everything in the universe. And this makes it really hard to have a boyfriend, too, when you're in the middle of a psychotic breakdown in your basement. Because, ladies, you know, sometimes you don't want to go over to your boyfriend's house and sleep on a bed of crusted-over Taco Bell wrappers. You want to sleep in your own bed, on a crusted-over layer of tampon wrappers and Fred Meyer mini-scone crumbs, like a fucking lady. But, like, how do you even seduce someone into that situation in the first place? Like, hey, baby, why don't you and me go down to my uncle's basement tonight? You can pop a Benadryl because you know the cat gives you mad post-nasal drip. And then we're gonna make sweet, sweet love. But not on the bed because it's too squeaky. So instead, why don't we just spoon down here on the cold, damp cement floor and try not to stick to each other. All right, my friends, I'm gonna go try not to stick to myself in the bathroom. Thank you so much, you've been fantastic.
Keep it going for Megan! Yeah! Isn't she adorable?